Hello everyone, welcome to the next video of C Programming. In this video, we will discuss a new chapter known as a function. It is very interesting like the name also. Now, what do you mean by function? So, before going to the topic, let us understand a real-time problem. Suppose we are having a function or reception party at our home. So, what we need to do? We need to take the help of the people who will deliver food. We need to take the help of the people who will do the decoration. We need to take the help of the people those who will provide the utensils. We need to take the help of the people who will do shopping for us, and we need to also take the help of the people who will do all those kind of photography and everything. Okay, so similarly there are list is never ending on for which we are dependent on different type of people. Why we are different dependent on the people? Because we cannot do, or I cannot do alone everything for my particular function. Okay, so by keeping all these things in our mind, I cannot do everything. If you'll, we have to go for the chapter function. Okay, so actually what happens, knowingly or unknowingly, we rely on so many persons for so many things. Okay, but anyway, man or woman is an intelligent species, but still cannot perform all the life tasks all alone. He or she has to rely on others. Okay, so that means, for example, you may call a mechanic to fix up your bike because you cannot do that. You have to hire a gardener to mow all your lawn, or you have to rely on a particular store who will supply you groceries every month. So that means, anyhow, we are dependent on different kind of people for different tasks because you cannot do everything by yourself. Clear? Similarly, a computer program, okay, except the simplest programs, you have to find itself in a similar situation. Means what? It cannot handle all the tasks by itself. That means whatever you are writing inside main, that is not enough that you can handle everything. But what you need to do, you have to request other programs. Then you have to understand this word, that you have to request other programs which are known as functions to get your task done. Okay, so in this particular video we'll discuss everything related to that, ki how we are taking the help of other programs to do our task. So in general, if you'll consider ki what do you mean by function, now function is nothing but it's a code only or similar type of code which are actually organized, efficient, and you have to maintainable the code. That means, to make your program much more organized, efficient, and you have to maintain that particular code, you have to go for the concept of function. And the best part is a reusability. That means, if you are sure that a piece of code is required repeatedly in your program, then you write it once and reuse it as many number of times it is required. So, in brief, if you want to understand, a function is nothing but it's a self-contained block of statements that perform different types of tasks for same kind. Okay, so that means these are, if you write your program in a better way, you have to use different types of functions. Okay, now let us understand how it is being used and what is the syntax. So this is what the syntax. So in a particular function program, we need different types of keywords like prototype, calling function, called function. Means what? Now you have to start from main. Now anything which is enclosed with this kind of bracket is known as a function. So from this chapter onwards, we will tell this main is nothing but it's a function. Okay. So you are writing the code for main function. So you will enter to main function and you have to write something by your own that is known as a user defined function. So you have to call that particular function. So this is known as a function call. How? You have to write the name of the function along with this bracket and ending with a semicolon, which is known as a calling function. Means, the brief is all about ki you can call a function inside another function. Okay, only you can make a call. But why you are making the call? The control will go from this position to outside the body of the main function. It will search where actually the code has been written for this particular function. So whatever the name will be there, the same name you will search outside. Whenever there is a match in the name, the respective block will be executed. You will get all the outputs. Once the block is over, again the control will return to that position from where the call has been made. Okay, so that means here we are understanding two things. One, the function call means only you have to use the name to call the function. After that, the control will go outside. It will check where actually the body is present or the function definition is present. It will execute all the statements, and once the execution is over, the control will return to the same position where the call has been made. Okay, so the keyword is here. One is known as a calling function, which you have done the call inside another function, and this is known as a called function because you have defined the particular code for this particular function. Okay, but as we have told that these are all user defined, you are using that. So like variables you are declaring, then you are using. Similarly, the function you need to declare. Where you need to declare? You need to declare before main or inside main also. But better you always declare outside the main. So whenever you are declaring a function, that is known as a function prototype. Okay. This prototype is also known as function signature. Okay. Function prototype or function signature. Now, by considering all these keywords, let us understand through an example how actually function works. So just try to understand the flow of the execution. You have to enter to the main function because program always starts executing from main function. Okay. Now you are entering to the body of main function. First, what you are getting? One printf statement. So the first output is your welcome. Okay, because you are encountering a printf statement. After that, what? Now fun one is what? It's a calling function. Okay, so that means you are calling a function with its name. So what will happen? The control will go out of the body of main function. It will search outside where the definition of fun1 has been written. Now outside you have checked the same name is there what you have called. Okay, the use of void we will discuss later. For the timing, let us focus on the name only. Ki fun1. So there is a match. The control will enter to the body. It will execute inside fun1. Okay. So here you will write the output will come inside fun1. Okay. After that, the control, once the execution is over, the control will return to that particular position from where the call has been made. That means to again fun1. Okay. After that, what will happen? Okay. So once it will return to fun1, its statement over, then again sequentially it will go to the next statement. What is that? Na printf. So it will execute, it will print. So the output will be in main. Once printf statement over, again the control will go to the next statement. What is that? It's again another calling function. So whenever you will call, what will happen? The control will go outside the main function. It will check where the same name is available. With the same name, one code has been written. So it will enter to that particular body and it will print whatever is being written inside function 2. So inside fun 2. Okay. Execution over. Once the execution will be over, the control will again return to that position from where the call has been made. Now fun2 is also over. After that sequentially it will come to the next statement. Again in main. So it will print again in main. After that the execution over. So now the total program is also over. Okay. So this is how what we have understood through the example ki how function works. Okay. And we have written the function prototype here. Void fun1. You have written void fun1. This is void fun2. You have to write void fun2. Okay. For the timing, just try to understand void is nothing but it's a data type. If you don't know what is data type, already you have done a video on data types. So void was a data type only. Okay. So the The objective of this particular example, you have to understand the sequential execution of a function. Wherever there is a calling function, instantly the control will go outside the body, okay, where it has been called. It will search with the same name. The control will enter to that particular function body. It will execute all the required statements. And once the execution of the block of the function over, it again returns to that particular position from where the call has been made. Okay. But the reality is you can have any number of functions in your program, but execution always starts from your main function. Okay. So through this video, what we have tried only to understand what is function, why it is required, and once there is a function, how the control is moving from one block to another. Because till now, whatever you have studied, we have studied only the sequential execution of the program, but through function program, now we'll leave one block, we'll move to another block, again we'll complete the task of another block, again we'll return to the previous block. So you have to understand the flow of execution of a particular program. Okay. So this is the first time we have written some key takeouts, because these are very important to understand what is the meaning of this function. Okay. So one program can have collection of one or more functions that already we have seen in the previous example. Along with main function, there are more than one functions are available. So one or more functions can be available in a single program. In the second point says that in a single program, if there is only one function is available, only one function, then it must be main function. That means till now to the previous video, whatever the programs we have written, we have already used one function, that is my main function. Okay. But in reverse, if the it contains more than one function, then one and only main function will be there. Okay. So this main function is compulsory. Understood? Also, there is no limit on the number of functions. You don't have any control. If you want, you can keep any number of functions as per your requirement. But whatever the sequence you have maintained, in that specified sequence, the function will be called, the execution will be done. And that is the best part that we have seen in our example. Okay. One more thing also you have taken consideration, that after each function has done its work, means the once the body will be executed, the control returns to the main function, because we have made the call in our example from the main function. So the control has again returned to the main function. Okay. So through this video, we have tried to make you understand what is actually function, why it is used, how it is used, how the control is moving from one place to another. Okay. So you try to understand the concept. In our next video, we'll see some more concept, and also we'll write some more programs by using function in the next video. Okay. So thank you everyone for watching this video.